You spend hours perfectly squaring your stance, checking your grip, and adjusting your club face, only to watch the ball slice into the rough anyway. When your alignment is off by just a few degrees, your swing falls apart. But sometimes that alignment issue has nothing to do with your posture. A few months ago, you might have woken up to the room violently spinning, a classic case of benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, or BPPV. You went to the clinic. The doctor guided you through repositioning maneuvers, sweeping the loose crystals out of your ear canals. The acute spinning stopped entirely, and you walked out with a clean bill of health. Yet back on the tee box, the reality is entirely different. You feel a subtle, unexplainable drift during your backswing. Your ball striking is totally inconsistent. By the back nine, you are completely physically and mentally exhausted. If the crystals are gone and the medical charts say your vertigo is cured, why is your body still fighting itself on the golf course? The answer isn't in your grip, in your clubs, or your stance. Your swing is failing because of a lingering, invisible structural issue deep inside your skull. This diagram highlights the inner ear's otolith organs, the utricle and saccule, your biological plumb lines. Inside these geodes, thousands of microscopic calcium carbonate crystals rest on a gelatinous layer and delicate nerve cells. As you tilt, this heavy bed slides, firing signals tracking linear acceleration. When you develop BPPV, usually from a silent viral infection or minor trauma, a section of that crystal bed degrades, dies, and breaks off. Clinical maneuvers like the Epley are fantastic for sweeping that broken debris out of the ear canals to stop you from spinning, but those treatments do not replace the dead crystals. Because that debris sloughed off, the affected inner ear organ has lost mass. It is now structurally lighter than the organ on the opposite side of your head. Your internal weight distribution is warped. The brain receives uneven spatial coordinates, leaving you physically out of plumb, even when you are standing perfectly still. Your brain instantly recognizes that the data coming from your ears is uneven. To keep you from falling over, it triggers a protective software override. The nervous system initiates something called sensory pivoting. It stops trusting the damaged inner ear entirely and shifts almost the entire burden of physical balance onto your eyes. For an athlete, this visual crutch is a disaster. At the exact apex of your backswing, your eyes are now forced to do two incredibly demanding jobs at once: lock onto a tiny target and physically stabilize your shifting body weight. As your torso rotates at high speed, the background environment whips across your field of vision. This rapid shifting creates a sensory mismatch that causes the nervous system to panic and throw up a series of defensive barriers. First, the visual instability creates micro-lags in your eye muscles. Your brain loses its exact spatial map of the ball for just a fraction of a second, causing you to hit fat or thin shots. Second, because your internal plumb line is offline, your body desperately searches for a safer center of mass, causing you to sway laterally off the ball or stand up prematurely. Third, your nervous system will never allow you to move faster than it can safely stabilize. It actively restricts your rotational muscles to prevent a fall, instantly killing your clubhead speed and distance. Using your eyes to constantly maintain physical balance burns an immense amount of metabolic energy. By the time you reach the back nine, you are completely neurologically exhausted, and your mechanics just completely unravel. Because the nervous system is highly adaptable, hitting more golf balls won't fix this. Practicing through the exhaustion only reinforces the brain's destructive reliance on your eyes. You cannot fix an internal software glitch by tweaking your external swing. You have to force a biological system reset. This requires targeted vestibular balance exercises. By systematically narrowing your stance and introducing multi-axis head movements, you purposefully destabilize your body to challenge the brain. The most critical part of this entire recalibration protocol is performing these challenging movements with your eyes completely closed. This flowchart illustrates exactly why the blindfold effect works. When we sever the visual pathway, the brain's survival instinct panics. To keep you upright, it is forced to route signal processing heavily back through the damaged inner ear pathway. Through forced, blind repetition, the brain finally learns the new, lighter weight of the damaged otolith organ. It recalibrates its spatial coordinates and successfully establishes a new internal true plumb. Once that internal hardware is properly aligned, the nervous system drops its defensive barriers, the muscular constraints release, your eyes lock onto the ball, and your body generates maximum torque. Flawless mechanics on the outside are entirely dictated by the biological hardware on the inside. Peak performance demands that you actively maintain and master those invisible gravity sensors deep inside your skull.